We have an interesting story about a viewer who recently sent us an email, a very long email. And basically, he said, my first Shopify stores failed miserably. I lost $42,580 in 7 years. I am desperate. What should I do differently for my next store to be successful? A very important question that he asked. So in today's conversation, we are going to answer that question, hands down. So if you are interested, dear viewer, if you are interested in this kind of topic, I want you to stick around till the end.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging from the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's conversation, we have an interesting case that was brought to us recently in an email, and the viewer said, the audience member said, my first 5 Shopify stores failed miserably. I lost $42,580 in 7 years. I am desperate. What should I do differently this time for my next store to be successful? So first, what's going on? Dear viewers, we're actually summarizing the case so that everybody can be on the same page and we understand exactly what we were talking about. And so I'm going to give you a few. So this was actually 2 or 3 pages of emails back and forth. And we just trying to summarize the thing here so you can understand. So we are speaking about Alberto R. Alberto, I know that you are currently listening, and you are 48 years old, Alberto, and you are a full-time online goods flipper, which is really interesting. You are a full-time online goods flipper. That's how you describe yourself. So you are present on Amazon, eBay, and Etsy. So it looks like your Shopify ventures have not been successful. They have not been as successful as the other 3. So you live in Vegas, okay? So you've been selling online since 2012, and all your 5 Shopify stores failed miserably. And so the thing is, you have been thinking, during COVID and whatnot, you have started drop shipping. So you started drop shipping last year, and the thing is, you have been focusing on Amazon, eBay. You prefer electronics and sports goods. Now, you haven't told us what you sell on Etsy, because you're not selling electronics on Etsy. You're not selling sports goods on Etsy, but that's another topic. So, beloved viewers, this is actually the summary of Alberto's situation, okay? So he's just desperate. He's really, he wants help, and all his 5 Shopify stores have failed. It's pretty interesting because I would have thought that after your first or second Shopify store, you would have learned something, but it's okay. We're not here to make any judgment, whatever. We are here to provide solutions. We are here to provide answers. First things first, Alberto. My question to you is, are you making money on the platforms you are currently at? I mean, Amazon, eBay, Etsy. This is a rhetorical question because we think, yes, you must be making money, because otherwise, how would you survive? I mean, you are a full-time online goods flipper, so you must be making money. So the second question is, what techniques are you using over there? In other words, because those are also online platforms. Obviously, Shopify is different from Amazon, eBay, and Etsy in the sense that they're quintessentially different. One is those 3 are marketplaces, and Shopify is not a marketplace. Okay, but my thing is, the techniques that you employ to make money online can be replicated on different platforms. So if you have been making money on Amazon, Etsy, and eBay, and this is our hypothesis. Okay, Alberto, if we were wrong, please just let us know in the email, in our email or let us know in the comment section below. But if you have been making money on those platforms, you should be making money also on Shopify. So what products have you sold over the years on Shopify? So those are really important because you said that you prefer electronics, sports goods. Okay, have you sold those products on Shopify, or have you tried to diversify? Because the whole thing is you don't want to pay you don't want to put all your eggs in the same basket, right? Did you consider seasonality? I mean, you have the holiday season, you have a lot of festivities happening and whatnot. So it's always important to make sure that the products you are selling, either on Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, or eBay, are in sync with the season, at least for some products. What about your target audience? Talk to us about your target audience. The thing is, you wrote us a long email, actually 2 or 3 emails, but you did not mention your target audience. What about demographics? What about their purchasing power? What about their locality, their geography? What do they live? What do they do? What are their passions? Okay, did you use any tools to boost your SEO? Because you started dropshipping last year. You must have used something for product research so. Did you use anything to actually boost your SEO and any targeted ad campaign on Facebook, for example? So those are really important questions so that we contextualize the 5 failures that you have had on Shopify. And I can tell you right off the bat, those 5 failures are not normal. There are a lot of for every successful Shopify store, you probably have 100 or 1,000 failed stores. But to do the same thing 5 times, you have 5 different stores that failed. This is pretty interesting. You want to be careful, Alberto. You really want to be careful. Because the thing here is that Shopify, of course, you've been on Shopify for several years. You've been selling online since 2012, but you've been on Shopify since 2017. The thing here is that Shopify does have a few drawbacks, but I don't think the drawbacks are the reasons why we have not been making money on Shopify. But it's still important that now that you want to consider a 6th try, you want to go for a 6th time, it's important to really understand the cons of using Shopify. Okay, the pricing is really important to really pay attention to. So the thing is, Shopify, if you want to make money, I just hope that you had the right plan for your store, because you have the standard plan, you have the Shopify plan, and you have the premium or advanced plan. Of course, the platform will offer you a 14-day free trial, but I don't think that you actually stayed on the free trial period just to no, because that would be so unimaginable. But I'm just digressing here. So pricing is important. For your next venture, make sure you choose the right pricing for the kind of audience you're going for, the kind of product you are going to be selling online, the kind of customer relationship that you will need, the kind of landing pages, SEO capabilities you will need. Okay, because Shopify is notorious for the difficulty when it comes to content marketing. So you have to actually bridge that gap also. What about customization? Do you need customization? Because Shopify has limited customization and it does not have email hosting. So there are a couple of things you need to think about. So what I want you to do, I want you to think about your strategy overall. And with Shopify, you do have some difficulty in terms of exiting, because Shopify is not quite accommodating when it comes to exiting its platform. You know what? God bless them. That's how they make money. But yeah, it is what it is. So you basically have to think about it. You have limited customization. It can be expensive. Okay. If you think about the processing and transaction fees, you think about no access to email hosting. You have no access to marketing automation. So those are things I want you to think about as you are contemplating a 6th run. Okay. This is kind of important. Now, solution idea number 1. Alberto, you have asked us, what should you do differently so that you do not fail the 6th time? I'm going to break it down for you, and I think you should take notes. The first thing you want to do is you want to sell a range of different products. The thing is, do not, because see, when you are on Shopify, you want to constantly run several iterations, trials and errors, to identify what event worked, what product works. Okay, because you never know. I mean, you can do all the research. People talk about, well, you do research. You have a lot of tools that show you do product research, you do a target audience, whatever. Those things work only in theory. You know why? Because you can only know what works once you actually are in the market, once you actually list it, and you can see the feedback from the clients. So you want to sell a constellation of different products so you can tell exactly which one works and which one doesn't work. That way you can totally accommodate things. You can change things around. Okay. And try print on demand. I mean, the thing is, you are thinking of, I want to sell electronics and sports goods. Okay. What about print on demand? There's a large market for that there. And this harks back to what I just said in terms of trying different products, different materials. You never know which one will pick up. It's all about trials and errors. Try to market your merchandise using Facebook. This goes back to what I said about multi-channel communication. See, the thing here is you can be on Shopify, but you have to actually look beyond Shopify. See, the world is not limited to Shopify. The world is not limited to Amazon. The world is not limited to Etsy or eBay, right? That's why you constantly have to have multi-channel communication. This is kind of important. So, for instance, on Facebook, you have 2 billion avid shoppers who are just waiting for you to actually do something. So if you can grab a little piece of that pie, think about the sales you could be making. So solution idea number 1, you want to sell a range of different products. Try print on demand and try to market your product using different channels. Very important. Do not stick to only one channel. Okay. Market your merchandise using Facebook, for example. And I mean, not just to having a presence on the on Facebook Marketplace, right? As a Facebook Marketplace shop, but also using Facebook ads. Solution idea number 2. And this is something that we have seen a lot of years in our research here. You got to be old-fashioned. Use email marketing. The thing is, you have to be in a situation where you have to start collecting emails from your customers. Okay, that means what? It means you have to think about landing pages. And the thing is, you have a lot of tools out there that offer you free landing pages. You can start with something free, and then later on, if you want to go a little sophisticated, you can go with the paying products, right? But you gotta use email marketing. The thing is, email marketing can sometimes seem a bit like old, 2005, 2004, 2010. But listen, it's still working. People are still opening their emails. They're still clicking on interesting links, right? And you want to optimize your store for people who are buying on the go. See, the thing here is that the reason why you have not been actually grabbing a little bit of what we call the impulsive buyers is because you don't have the right optimization. The right SEO. That's why I asked you earlier, what kind of SEO do you have? You gotta have SEO. You cannot be, Alberto, I'm just telling you, son, you cannot be online and just ignore those things. Okay. So optimize your store for regular shoppers, but also for people on the go. And you have a lot of them. You have a lot of occasional shoppers who are just looking for one particular product. That's it. They're not going to come to your store after this purchase unless you do a great job at solidifying the relationship, at impressing them during the delivery, at making sure that you answer all their questions. Your professionalism, your passion will actually retain clients. But Alberto, you have to be very careful here. Make sure that you keep your regulars happy too. The regulars are important. The occasional ones are also important, but the regulars will constitute maybe 80% of your focus, whereas the 20% will be the occasionals, what we call the occasionals, the impulsive buyers. I mean, think of it as if you had a YouTube channel, and in your YouTube channel you have your subscribers, your regular subscribers, and then you have folks who are just browsing around, just looking for answers. They don't intend to subscribe to your channel anyway. Okay, not because they don't like your ass. No, it's just because they're not interested anyway in that topic. So you have to think about that. So solution idea number 2, use email marketing. You want to optimize your store for people who are buying on the go, and always keep your regulars happy. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about a problem that Alberto, 48 years old, living in Vegas, has actually posed to us. He said that his 5 Shopify stores have failed, what he should do differently to make sure his next Shopify venture doesn't fail. So, solution idea number 3, make sure that you beef up your content. Alberto, this is really important. Your content must be attention grabbing. See, when I'm talking about content, I'm not just speaking about written text. See, you got to really think about a lot of things here. We are speaking about pictures. We are speaking about product description. We are speaking about reviews and recommendations. We are speaking about video. See, you got to have a multilateral view of content. You cannot just be, I'm going to write some articles, or I'll be just going on Fiverr and pay somebody $5 or $10 to write me an article, and I'll just post it on my website. No, Alberto, you got to think deeply. You got to think holistically. So your attention, your content must be attention grabbing, and this start with you knowing your target audience. Once you have a clear idea of who your target audience is or are, when you have a clear idea of that, then you can concoct content that really pleases them. This is really important, okay? And make it personal. When we talk about content, make it personal. You want to ditch the whole, formal talk to something more informal. Again, this goes back to what I told you. Once you know your target audience, you can speak to them in a way that they understand. And that's all that matters, because you know what? At the end of the day, you want your 6th store to survive. So make sure that you actually make it personal. So if you actually make sure that every purchaser feels special, the way you talk to him or her, this is important. So solution idea number 3, make sure your content is attention grabbing and personal. Obviously, I'm not asking you to be too personal, but you got to really be in a situation where the purchaser, the shopper, is really happy to buy your stuff, is really pleased with the whole process. Solution idea number 4. Alberto, are you still with us? I'm sure you are. And what you want to do here is that you want to actually invest a little bit in advertising. The thing is, do not be afraid to invest in paid ads where appropriate. I spoke earlier about Facebook. And you also have a YouTube. You have Facebook 2 billion. You have YouTube 2 billion. So what are you doing, boss? Alberto, what are you doing? And I'm not asking you. You can set a budget for $5 per day. Run a campaign for 1 week. That's $35. You can see the results from there. You can even do A/B testing and see which version of a landing page that you would have actually built, which version works. And the thing is, you don't have to build the landing page yourself. A lot of tools nowadays, they already have templates, and all you have to do is just to pick the right template that works for you and just fill in the numbers and fill in the info. But you got to invest in paid ads. This is really important, because we take Facebook, YouTube, that's 4 billion people. That's 4 billion eyeballs that your store, your next store, could actually benefit from. And you need that. Okay, don't break the bank though. I'm not asking you to spend hundreds of dollars a day on advertising. No, start little, $5 on either platform. That's $10 per day. For 7 days, that's $70. And this is totally worth it. Because if you are a full-time online goods flipper, you do have the resources to actually invest a little bit in ads. The second thing is you want to get interactive. Okay, you have to understand that the audience actually reacts better to anything interactive. Okay, so what I want to say here is that you're trying to be creative here, and there are a lot of tools out there. You have Gleam.io, you have you do have a lot of a lot of tools out there that allow you to actually be interactive. So the final word here is that the bottom line is, for your next Shopify venture, Alberto, I want you to listen quickly. You can definitely do it. But please diversify. Do not put all your eggs in the same basket. Start with different products and see which one works. If I were you, I would start with 5 to 10 different products. And I'll see. It's all about trials and errors. But do not go for another 5 years with losses. No, this is totally not possible. This is not acceptable at all. There are ways to do this better. So we hope we have answered your questions. If you actually have more questions, you can actually put them in the comment section below, or you can email us directly. And I want to thank also our beloved viewers. And please feel free to help Alberto. We know that y'all are very, very talented, very smart. So your contribution is definitely welcome. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.